Hey, thanks for joining me today. I am actually quite excited because today I am going to fire pottery, primitive pottery, with coal. Here's some coal that I got, lignite coal, pretty cool stuff. And it's just not doing this because I'm curious and it's a lark. I have some specific reasons for doing it. There were Native Americans hundreds of years ago who fired their pottery with coal, primarily the Hopi. I don't know about others, but probably others as well in northern Arizona. And it had an interesting impact. When you fire a certain kind of clay with coal, it turns yellow. So there was a kind of pottery called Jedito yellowware, which I think is absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to try and put a picture up here somewhere so you can see what that is like. And for a long time, I was looking for the right clay that would fire yellow. It turns out that the clay is important, but the firing environment is even more important. So this was all fired with coal. Now, so if you fire with wood or with charcoal, lump charcoal, sheep dung, whatever you fire with, that environment affects the outcome of the pot that you are making. It changes the color of it. So this apparently is the way you get Jedito yellowware. So that is one of my goals. There's a couple other reasons to do it. I like that it starts firing kind of slowly and it ramps up slowly, so you have less issues with thermal shock. Today, right now, it is 7 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit here in Minnesota. Thermal shock is a concern. Another reason that I like coal, or I'm interested in it, is the expense. This stuff right here costs 9 cents a pound. Well, if you go out and buy lump charcoal, it's going to be 90 cents a pound at the best. I've seen it $1.50 a pound. So it can be really economical. Not as cheap as wood that you go scavenge yourself, but it can be really a good deal. So I'm excited about that. So here's the pots that I have. I've got 2 pots, 2 bowls. And in fact, these are the bowls. If you watch the video on making a no coil bowl, these are the bowls. Okay, so here's one of them. Obviously a polychrome. This one, I don't know if you can see the parrots in this. So those are the 2 bowls that I am going to fire. So the plan here is to get those up into my oven to make sure they're 100% dry, and then go outside into the cold and get this fire started. So let's get going. It's still below 0 out here, so it's chilly. But here is the plan. Here's my outdoor kiln. I'll stack up the pottery and the coal there. So here's the pile of coal over here. The nice thing is it's kind of flat, and you can actually shape this with a hatchet to clean it up. You'll see how I stack this up here in just a minute. I have some little pieces of bricks down here as kiln furniture to get the pottery up off the surface of the bottom a little bit. So I'm about ready to bring the pots out here and get this all set up. Okay, stack the pots upside down like that. The plan here is to start stacking this coal up, kind of like you would make a rock wall. You want to put the flattest ones on the bottom because the others will fit on top. I was probably off camera for that, but you can use a hatchet and flatten and shape these things. This coal is not so terrible hard. My goal there is to stack this around the pots. It's okay if I touch them a little bit, I think, but not a lot.
I also have some just regular charcoal, which is easy to light. The thing with coal, it doesn't light the same way that charcoal does. It's harder. Last time I used some charcoal lighter like this, I got it on the pots and it messed them up. So I'm going to try and be real careful about that. I've already got some. And the next step is to make a bridge for the charcoal on top, or the coal on top. So the goal at this point is just to get this thing started. It's kind of a tricky thing. And then I'll load charcoal on top, or the coal on top. So this starts off as a pretty smoky situation. Stinks a little bit too. Once it gets going, the smoke should go away and it should be burned pretty clean. It's starting to go, but it occurred to me that I could put some charcoal around the outside and get it going that way. So I think my impatient nature says to do these kinds of things. All right, we'll see how that works. I think that'll be a better deal. What I have done is built a brick wall around here for a couple different reasons. One, if the coal wall kind of falls apart, there's something it'll kind of contain all the coal. The other thing, it is cold, and the biggest issue with thermal shock is when it's cooling. And so all those bricks are going to get hot, and that's going to retain heat. And I think that will make it less likely to have cracks as it cools. This is going to burn for a long time. My guess is I won't be able to pull this out until tomorrow morning. It is going reasonably well, but what I have decided to do is add some charcoal onto the very top. Give this a go. Well, this fire actually has been going for 2.5 hours. You can see down there it is starting, but it is a slow go, and particularly with lignite coal. This is the lowest grade coal that they have. It's sometimes called brown coal, and it's just kind of a struggle to get it started sometimes. I need to get better at that. So this is going much better now. The good news is that the coal is burning fairly evenly all the way around, and that's what I really want, so I get a good even fire. I've tested the temperature with my infrared thermometer, and I am seeing temperatures, that says 890, so that's amply hot. I'm a little concerned about open areas here, and kind of thinking about adding some sherds to kind of contain the heat. Today is December 21st, the winter solstice, and it's been a chilly day. The sun sets early in Minnesota, and this fire has been going on for 6 hours, and it's still around 450 degrees Celsius. There's no way that this is going to be coming out today, so we will see it in the morning. Well, this is the exciting part. It's been 24 hours, well, almost 24 hours since I started this fire. So now it's time to go outside and see what is in the kiln. Chilly day, but not as cold as yesterday. And here it is. I can't believe that there's any residual heat left in this thing. Actually, there is. Okay, let's get all these cover sherds off the top. Okay, let's see what we get here. The big surprise. Some beautiful blushing colors in there. I really like that. Kind of interesting. This is really quite hot. So excellent. I like that. So here you can see where the other pot was laying over the top. The environment never ceases to amaze me how things change based on the environment. And so this is a somewhat different color. And it's not ringing. You see here, there's a little bit of a crack here. Not a big surprise. I had a bit of a crack when I was making it. So that's kind of what happened with that. This whole thing distorted a little bit. But the colors are nice, very interesting. So, good outcome, I think, overall. I'm really pleased with this coal. Okay, look at the color of these ashes. It's just fascinating. With charcoal, lump charcoal, you get kind of one color. You don't get these browns and I see greens and yellows. And it's because this is lignite coal, and lignite coal is the lowest grade of coal. In other words, it has the least amount of carbon in it. And it's all this other stuff, and I don't even know what it is, that creates this environment that ends up creating the shading on this pot. If you remember, the color of this clay was gray when we started, and all these extra clouds, these are fire clouds that are very specific to the chemicals that are in the coal. So having a low-grade coal is exactly what I am personally looking for, and I think it makes for some really interesting colors. Well, I am really happy with the way this all turned out. And I would really encourage you to check to see if you can find some coal and try firing your pots with coal. I think you'd be interested in the outcome. Now, if you want a real clean white pot, this is not the stuff. But if you want some really interesting colors, I think this is exactly the kind of thing you might want to consider. So, very pleased that you are here, happy with all of this. If you like these videos, please let me know what kinds of things you might be interested in the future. Put in the comments down there. Are there some topics that you would like to hear about? And please thumbs up are great. Subscriptions, comments, all of those things really make a difference to help support this channel, help it grow. And thank you so much. And until next time, this is Wes wishing you health, happiness, peace, and love. Take care. Bye-bye.